So, I've noticed over my time playing Overwatch that a person's hero choice can really say a lot about them as a player. So, this video is gonna go over some stereotypes of the support role, since it's like the only role that's worth a damn right now. Also, please don't cancel me because I made a negative stereotype about your favorite hero. And if you do so, at least make it creative so I can laugh a little. Okay, let's go. Now, if this guy is on your team, they are what us
Intellectuals.
would call a war pig. Which is to say, they always think they're hot shit until they actually press tab and then they realize that they're getting utterly outhealed by a mercy. But if you so happen to find them on the enemy team and let's say you, for whatever reason, you are playing tank, well, you might want to consider grabbing a pillow and a blanket. Oh, Baptiste. You know, even though he's quite strong, he is extremely underused. And I really don't know why. I mean, he has, like, good heals, good damage, freaking mortality field, for God's sake. Yet, nobody really seems to play this guy that much. These guys are generally pretty chill. They do tend to focus a lot on stats, but they don't really voice it as much as other heroes. Regardless, it is safe to assume that if you find a bad player on either team, you're gonna have a pretty normal match. Unless he fucks up with your ult with his immortality field. That is bit rage inducing motherfucker! I have missed 4 of my ults in a row, and then one big that I get gets countered by a fucking cooldown. I hate BOP! I hate BOP! As of right now, I don't even know if you guys exist anymore. You know, you will find many players who will insist on picking a character, no matter how bad the situation may be for them. But Brake's a unique case here. When Brig is extremely strong in the meta, there are tons of quote unquote Brig players that will swear by her. But the moment some of her power is taken away to a point that she isn't exactly insanely busted, these so-called Brig mains will suddenly become mains of a variety of characters, most commonly Mercy, don't ask me why, until they manage to complain enough that she gets buffed again, and the cycle repeats itself. Now, this one is a fairly new addition to the support roster, so there really isn't a stereotype for these guys yet. Nah, they're the DPS support players who just cannot handle recoil, or projectiles for that matter. So now that there's an easy to use hit scan option for the low price of hitting your head, they favor said option and end up shaming your DPS in the process. Or maybe they just like having an AI that does all the healing for them. Which is to say, I'm that stereotype. I'm the stereotype here. These are advanced Moira players that can somewhat aim, but cannot stay alive for shit. So they need a teleport and an immortality to be able to live more than 2 seconds. But she needs headshots to do big damage, so she needs a lot of skill. Well, so does pretty much everyone in the roster. So, like, there's 2 types of Life Weaver players. There is the Mercy player who had just one too many Lucio Mercy games and has been forced to play a support with a little bit more healing. Naturally, they gravitate towards the option that doesn't require much aim. Oddly enough, these guys will do a great job supporting you with platforms and pulls, although they will lack a bit on healing departments compared to the other type of life weavers. Then there's the actual life weaver players. Now these guys play for two things, and two things only: healing numbers and staying alive. Which sounds good on paper, but they tend to overly focus on these two tasks and kinda leave you in the dust. So, pick your poison. Just like his crossfades, there are two sides of Lucio players. You can tell them apart by looking at which type of aura they tend to favor. Lucios that favor the healing aura are more grounded, less active Lucios. They love being the center of attention, and they get hard amping heals when there are 4 critically injured teammates in their aura. They get beat fast, and they use it very fast, which might actually be to their detriment, because they usually mistime it a lot. Then there's the Reddit Lucios. They'll flank you in a blink, kill you in a blink, run in a blink, and then die in a blink. There's only one thing they do not do fast, and it's charge beat. These players are having the time of their lives at the cost of the entire team, which is either great news for you, or you're down a support. I don't think there's much to say about Mercy players, right? Say it with me, guys. All Mercy players are...
I've been the Mercy main ever since starting Overwatch, and I have dedicated 280 hours of my life to this awesome and wholesome character. I also play Widow, Diva, and Kiriko if my team begs me to switch. In my opinion, the biggest stereotype for Mercy is that we don't add anything to the team. But that's complete. It's actually your guys' fault for not doing enough damage. You know, I've saved many games, and I've had more assists than any of you could ever imagine. So McCree players, do better. Anyways, on to the next boring character stereotype, I guess. Hashtag Mercy Mafia, hashtag girl power.
You're DPSing. Yeah? That's it. That's the stereotype. Oh, that's gonna come out pretty lame. Oh! I got it!
No more gods, no more graves. Are you friend or fiend? No more life, no more death. Somewhere in between.
Now, you would think these are DPS players who are just queuing support for priority passes. But let me tell you, ever since Overwatch 2 and the release of Iliari, there are actually people that main Zen. Which is why you almost never see him in game. That is, unless there's a particularly annoying tank. Then it's Zenning time. And that's all of them. Now this was a pretty fun project to work in, and I'll happily make tank or damage videos if I see a lot of love and support. I'll probably make it anyways, because it was pretty fun. If there's a stereotype you agreed, one you disagreed, maybe one you would like to share, leave it in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Well, that's gonna be it then. Thank you all for watching.
My servants never die.
Oh, let's break it down. You wanna hear this?
No.